Yes, everybody, we are back live in the building. I hope you guys are having a beautiful Saturday. And guys, there is some big news around Florian Wirtz. This initially broke last night, actually. It initially broke last night, and it definitely is correct, this piece of news, because not only did David Ornstein confirm it via The Athletic, but then also Paul Joyce also confirmed it. So the news is that we have come in with an even more improved bid, which is £100 million up front with £13 million in add-ons. So overall, that's £113 million, or the equivalent in euros, you guys, is €134 million, which would be a club record fee by far for Liverpool Football Club, but it would not be the Premier League record fee if this was to be accepted by Leverkusen. We don't know yet whether Leverkusen have accepted this or not, but my personal prediction, what I think probably happened, is that Liverpool put in this kind of offer, and they said to Leverkusen, listen, all the other clubs have pulled out. Florian Wirtz is desperate to join us. He only wants Liverpool. We have some power in these negotiations. We're offering you major money, more money than we've ever paid for a player. And I think Liverpool are using that in negotiations, especially given the fact that David Ornstein article also crucially said that Leverkusen want to sell Wirtz this summer, because next summer he would only have 1 year left on his deal, so they'd have to sell him for a lot less money because they would have that fear of him potentially then leaving on a free, right? So this is why I think Liverpool has some room kind of in these negotiations to not go for the initial 150 million euros that Leverkusen have been asking for since the beginning. That's what they've been saying that they want for their player. He's once in a generation talent for them, and you can understand it. But now, again, you have to look from the point of view of Liverpool. Liverpool also has some negotiating power, and that's where I think this deal is at right now. I think we've tabled this offer, which is a lot of money to be paying up front, by the way. A lot of money. £100 million. Liverpool have never done that. And Liverpool have never done anything close to that in the history. The most we paid for a player was Darwin, right? Darwin, there were a lot of installments in that deal. So people always mentioned, I think it was 80 million fee. It hasn't gone to that because there are a lot of installments that needed to be triggered for it to get to that amount. Here, we're offering £100 million up front, you guys. That's a huge amount to be paying up front, and it's very unlike us, but it shows, and this is what gets me so excited, you guys. This is what gets me so excited. It shows how highly the likes of Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, Arne Slot rate this player, right? Because we never pay anywhere near that kind of money. Like I said, £100 million up front. That's crazy. But again, that's why I'm even more excited, because I don't think we would ever pay for that, you guys, if we didn't think it was a generational type talent, or the type of talent that you build your team around. And I think that's what's going to end up happening, you guys, And I got to say, since obviously the news broke, I've been watching a lot of compilations, reading about Florian Wirtz and everything. And I think what maybe gets me most excited about this signing is that, how often really gifted players on the ball, like the likes of Ronaldinho, Coutinho, Eden Hazard, these players that are just magicians on the pitch, right? Magicians on the pitch. Often they're really just focused on the attacking side of the game, and that's their main responsibility on the pitch. From everything I've seen, you guys, Florian Wirtz seems like the type of player that has the work rate, a German-like work rate to press, to come back defensively, to understand the system, and on top of that, like I said, be an absolute magician in the final third. So I'm just too excited. Because, like I told you, I think the reason why we see him as someone to build your team around, like I said, is because it's very rare, in my opinion, to find players who have that kind of magic, but then also be able to put their ego aside to also understand that the team as a whole has to work, and they have to put in some defensive work, or they at least have to, make some sacrifices, I guess. Although I do think a lot of the team will also sacrifice for Florian Wirtz, because like I said, he is a generational talent, in Germany. And that's why, these negotiations are taking a while. So my question for you guys, Andy, I see you're asking that question as well. I want to ask this question back to you guys. Do you think this offer of, like I said, I will repeat, £100 million that we offered upfront with £13 million in add-ons, which is around, as you can see the figure right here, I just made this graphic, 134 million euros. Do you think that bid will be accepted? Do you think it'll be rejected? We don't know yet. We just know Liverpool tabled that offer yesterday. Like I said, from the two most reliable journalists in England, at least in David Ornstein and Paul Joyce, they reported on that. My personal opinion is that Leverkusen are going to understand, like I was telling you before, I truly believe that Leverkusen will understand that they can't risk this deal falling through, because like I was mentioning before, other teams pulled out, and not just that, but like I said, Wirtz is desperate for the move. He's made that clear, and if they don't sell him this summer, he would only have 1 year left next summer, which again would put Leverkusen in danger of having to sell him for a lot less than his actual value. And for them, they seem to absolutely believe that his actual value is 150 million euros. That's what they believe. But like I said, I personally believe that there is some room to negotiate because of those different components, But we shall see whether this is accepted or not. Either way, it's going to move quick, you guys. The reason it's going to move quick is the first part of the transfer window shuts down on June 10th. And I truly believe that both Liverpool and Leverkusen want to have this done before June 10th. Why Liverpool? Because the earlier we get our business done, the better, because it means we can have him in our plans from the very first day of preseason. So that's fantastic for Arne Slot and to prepare for next season. But then, two, once we make that signing, we can truly start to sell players as well to raise funds. And three, Leverkusen will also want to sell earlier. For them, earlier the better, because they know he's going to be leaving this summer. He wants to leave. They want to sell him this summer, like I said. They will want to bring in the money as soon as possible so that they can then invest that money and find, obviously they're not going to find a like-for-like replacement for Florian Wirtz, but it's a ton of money, right, that they'll be receiving. How are they going to invest that back into the team with their new manager as well? Obviously, Xavi Alonso left. He went to Real Madrid. They brought in Ten Hag. So Ten Hag is going to be given major funds. It seems like actually they might want to get Anthony Leverkusen, because obviously Ten Hag was the one that brought him to United and stuff. So that's one to look out for. But yeah, the reason why, like I said, I believe this deal will move quickly is from both sides. I can understand why they would be inclined to get it done before June 10th. Because like I said, and by the way, June 10th is Tuesday. So I'm going to be ready for a live stream with you guys on Tuesday, because I feel like that could be the day where we get all the final details and stuff. But yeah, I think before June 10th, because yeah, like I said, I truly believe that from both sides, they'll want to get this done. Big up, thank you for the super chat. Who says, I unfortunately can't read your username because it's hard for me, but you said, please shout out to Holly and Meek. Shout out to Holly and Meek. Big up to you guys in the building. Where are you guys from? Sunny says, Wirtz x Maka Linka, bro. Not just Wirtz, Maka. Wirtz Salah, bro. Wirtz Salah. Wirtz Salah is what I'm hyped about. And not just Wirtz Salah, also Wirtz Frimpong. I watched, like I said, a lot of compilations, and many times I see Florian Wirtz linking up with Frimpong, and that's him playing beautiful, pinging balls beautifully towards the right-hand side, and with Frimpong's pace, he gets to them, you know what I mean? So, I'm so excited. And then, bro, imagine, I can't contain my excitement, you guys. I cannot contain my excitement. On one side, you could have Frimpong with a pace. He's one of the fastest players in the world, bombarding on the right-hand side. And then on the left-hand side, you could have a player bombarding in Carquez, who is one of the quickest players in the world too. So we're going to have these two fullbacks, and then we're going to have the magic of Florian Wirtz to find these passes. Nah, bro, I can't wait for the first game of preseason. I'm not going to be able to hold myself. Like, the buzz is way too high, you guys, about how we could look next season. Oh, man, what a time to be alive. I will never, ever, ever take these moments for granted. Because when I started watching Liverpool, I never believed we would be a club that would go that big on a player, because that's not how we ever were. You know what I mean? When I was supporting Liverpool, and I know many of you guys in the building, what would instead happen with us? We'd lose our best players. Always when a player then got to like a world-class level, you know, I like Torres, Suarez, there were so many examples, Coutinho, we would have to sell them. You know what I mean? Because we weren't competing for the biggest trophies. And what's happening now? We get to keep our best players who would have had offers from many places like Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah. And on top of that, we get to buy one of the greatest talents in the world, bro. This is unbelievable. I will never take these moments for granted. And that's one of the reasons why probably the buzz is so high, because I'm going to be struggling to sleep this summer, if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys. Because to me, this feels like absolute dreamland, and I'm not going to be able to contain myself. Yo, my name is Hussein. Love your vids. God bless ya. Big up, Hussein. Thank you very much for the super chat again. Damn, you sent 3 super chats. 4 super chats? God, you guys that's so nice of you, Hussein. Where are you from, by the way? Hussein. Who says, yo, love your vids. God bless ya. Thank you, bro. WWW. Guys, I want W spammed in the building right now for Hussein. I really appreciate the support on the channel. That means a whole lot. Lucci says, after Wirtz, we can pay full focus on the Kirkez deal as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh man, like I told you, I cannot freaking contain my excitement, because I'm thinking about the magic of Florian Wirtz. Maybe it's because I've watched too many compilations, but it's not just that. I'm telling you, what always gets me the most excited, for me, the part of football that I'm most curious about. I'm less about tactics, I gotta be honest. I'm more interested in mentality. And everything I've read about Florian Wirtz's mentality, bro, is what gets me so excited about this signing. I mean, just the fact that he rejected Bayern, where he would have been in major comfort zone. He would have stayed in Germany, played with all of his fellow international teammates, gone to link up with Musiala, who's also one of the best young talents in the world. And Bayern are a club that do go for the Champions League, and they win the domestic cup, the domestic league. I mean, for him to turn that down, to take a risk to move to Liverpool, and not to say that we're not obviously a very exciting club, but you know what I mean? That rarely happens in Germany, and for that in and of itself tells you a lot, I think, about his mental. I'm too excited, you guys. I'm not going to be okay this summer. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be okay this summer. Sonny, thank you as well for the super chat, who says I'm being out-donated today. Yeah, Hussein, absolute ledge. I'm so excited for the future, says So Kaka. I'm so excited for the future, Leo. We're gonna dominate, absolutely. And Onis, wait, I'm definitely butchering your name. Onis. Bro, let me know if I'm butchering your name, but thank you so much for the really kind super chat, who says next week is hopefully a movie for Wirtz and Kirkez. You'll never walk alone. That's my personal prediction, because like I was saying before, you guys, the initial part of the transfer window, and the reason why this summer there's those 2 different parts of the transfer window, opening and closing, is because of the Club World Cup. It shuts down on Tuesday, June 10th. And my personal belief is that we'll get both deals done by then. You'll never walk alone, bro. I'm too excited about our future. I can't, bro. I can't deal with this. I cannot. Big up Hussein. Look at all those W's in the building, who says, thanks, England. Are you from Liverpool in England? At this rate, Leo could afford Wirtz in 6 years. Yeah, bro, imagine. Maybe a meeting with Wirtz. I don't know. Ultimate Football says, I'm so excited for this generation, bro, for all these new talents to come to the new football world. Yeah, who says that football is honestly, this season my love of football has just risen here. The amount of bowlers that we have, you guys. You know how so many people are the likes of Gary Neville, and I just feel like it's such a debated topic. People are saying now all these players are robots, this and that. Nah, bro. Look at the amount of players that are coming through, the likes of Lamine Yamal, that you watch and they just look like kids playing on the playground, but at the highest elite level. And I don't care who you support when you watch players like that. For example, a Musiala, a Wirtz, a Ryan Cherki, these players who are young, who are full of talent, who, again, they look like kids who are just balling out. I say bless them, because I don't care who you support, Bro, I don't care who you support. It is such a joy to watch them. Absolute joy to watch them. When do you think we get the Here We Go? Hopefully Tuesday, because that's the last day. Hopefully Tuesday. That's what I'm praying for. Jalapeno, thank you very much for the super chat, who says, don't get yourself evicted too soon, Leo. Jalapeno, it's happening this season 100%, because we're going for the whole lot this season. I'm getting evicted 100%. But you know what? I'm definitely going to invest in Jalapeno because it's worth it. Because I'm going to move. I told you guys before, in September, I'm moving back to Lille. And I'm moving into a flat that I'm planning on staying for years. Because I just want to settle in a place. In that place, I'm going to get soundproofing. I'm going to get soundproofing in the room where we'll stream together. Where we'll be in the building together. So that way, Jalapeno, I'm not going to have the stress of having to like get evicted or anything like that. So yeah, that's something for the new season. 100% I'm gonna get soundproofing, because I don't want to hold back for the moment when Florian Wirtz scores a banger and we're all gonna scream in the building and we're gonna dance and we're gonna celebrate these moments together. Because let me tell you something, like I said before, I will never ever take these moments for granted, and neither should any of us in the building. Because like I said, us going for getting the top 5 best talents in the world and keeping hold of the best players in their positions in Virgil and Mohamed Salah, for me, it's a place this football club has never been in my lifetime, you know, to go on and dominate. And I'm just like, I just feel so blessed. I just feel so blessed and thankful to be living in this moment in time as a Red. And I just think it's so beautiful too that we get to share these moments together. And, you know, I appreciate all of you guys. You don't know how much this channel has meant to me since we got started. The amount of you guys that I see again in the building that are supporting the channel and have the same level of passion and excitement, if not more than me, it makes me emotional, because I think that's the most beautiful thing about this football club. I'm gonna get emotional just thinking about that. LFC Tyler, nice to see you in the building. Hussein says, I don't know why me doting it. Only reason is probably because you're the best. Yilder Walk Alone, thank you, bro. You don't know how much I appreciate it. It really means the world. It really means the world. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Anins. I'm butchering your name again, bro. You gotta tell me how to pronounce your name. Anins has just donated £100. Anis. Thank you so much, bro. And you have a Wirtz profile picture already? Yeah, I see Wirtz number 17. By the way, I saw some of you guys were saying Wirtz is probably going to wear 17 for Liverpool. I don't think it's going to happen, because that's Curtis Jones' number, and I don't think he would just take that off. And my personal prediction is, initially coming in, he'll probably take 27, because I think he used to wear that at Leverkusen. I could see him taking 27 initially and then changing numbers down the line, like we've seen many of our players changing names. But Anis, thank you so much for that really kind super chat, who says £100 for a Wirtz transfer. I want W's in the building. This is becoming a historical stream right here. Oh my goodness. Damn. What is going on right now? Maybe. Oh my God. The source for this, by the way, someone was asking, from the 2 most reliable journalists in England. So David Ornstein via The Athletic reported on it, and Paul Joyce from The Times also reported on it. The same exact numbers, like I said, £100 million up front, and then £13 million in add-ons. And in euros, that's a total package of 134 million euros. Leverkusen are asking for 150 million euros, but that's why there's a holdout right now in the transfer, because we're trying to find an agreement in between is what's happening. But I fully believe that's going to happen. Ria Bova says, I'm so excited for Liverpool to complete this signing. I truly believe that he will transform our Liverpool squad. Bro, how blessed are we to say transform the Liverpool squad, and we've already won the Premier League this season, and we're talking about transforming our squad. Like, man, what a time to be alive. I cannot. Vasudev, thank you very much for the super chat as well, who says, can't wait for next season, Leo. Watch along tomorrow. Vasudev, potentially tomorrow. The problem is I'm actually going to the countryside. I'm going on a farm, because I think I told you guys before, my best friend Jack, he owns a bakery, and we're going to see the farmer who basically raises all the products that he uses for the bakery, or a lot of the products like the flour and stuff. So I'm not sure what time I get back, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a watch along stream tomorrow. But Sonny says I need to donate £500 now just to outdo this. Oh my goodness. He's saying thank you again. Who donated again? Who says WWWW? Oh my goodness, you guys are going crazy today. I appreciate you guys so much. 99 pounds is insane. Jalapeno, thank you so much again for the super chat, who says, Leo, at this point you could probably buy an estate in the French countryside. Oh my goodness. Bro, I mean, that's gonna help towards the soundproofing. Like I said, I'm telling you, next season I'm gonna have soundproofing, because I'm too scared of more. I'm too scared of getting evicted, because like I said, the next place I want to be in, I want to be in long term. Hussein, thank you very much for the super chat again. And then Jalapeno again says, buy the farm, buy the farm. Bro, we're close to that point at this stage, guys. We're close to buying a farm. What is this? What is going on right now? Bro, what is going on? MDD Entertainment says, W to those doing super chats. Thank you again. Hussein, who says, you'll never walk alone. By the way, you didn't say where you were from in England. Are you from Liverpool? So Gift Sadiq says, it's a lot of money for one player though. I'm excited, but since he hasn't played in the Prem, I stress a bit. Bro, no. I understand the bit of stress. But this is why. You say he hasn't played in the Prem. But you know what, for me, makes me not stressed? I watch him at the Euros for Germany, and I thought he was the best player for Germany alongside Musiala. And at the Euros, he played against, top opposition. So I think he's proven at the highest elite level, and he's been so consistent. And it's that pure raw ability, and the mentality to go for it. And trust me, like, we would not go and spend this much money if we had doubts about this transfer. You know how careful FSG, Edwards, you know how careful we are about money. We usually never go for these type of transfers, and that's why I'm even like triple more excited. Already I've been watching all these compilations, you guys, but then I love always to put myself in the shoes of, like, when I analyze situations, and if I put myself in the shoes of John Henry, of Michael Edwards, who, by the way, apparently went to Boston, because apparently the way the FSG model works, and it's the same with the Boston Red Sox, the baseball team they own, is to sanction the biggest moves. So ones that will cost like major money for the club. They need to meet in person and truly talk things out. And the fact that Edwards flew to Boston to be in person with John Henry to basically speak about this transfer, to say, listen, we understand this is way more money than we've ever paid for a player, but it's worth it. It's worth it because he can allow us to win this and that, and he can elevate his level to become a potential Ballon d'Or nominee. And so the fact that pitch from Michael Edwards got a green light from John Henry, because he would have had to give his green light for, like I said, for such a big deal. For me, that's what makes me like even more excited, bro, because that's like whatever was done in the process in terms of the data, looking into the data in terms of analyzing the player, everything that went into us deciding in the end that we were going to go all in on this player must mean that he is something even more special than we can imagine, because like I said, we never do this. We usually never do this. Luke Edits, nice to see you in the building. By the farm, I'm dying. Oh my god. Elena says, Leo, even though I became a fan of yours this year, I'm already part of the family that you create all day here in YouTube. You're the GOAT. No, you guys are the whole thing. You guys are the whole lot. You guys don't realize. It's all about you. If you guys weren't here in the building, it would mean absolutely nothing. So you don't know how much you guys mean. Oh yeah, Liverpool. You're from Liverpool. Yes, bro. Bro, when will be the medical for Florian Wirtz? Hopefully Tuesday. Sunny says, thank you again for the super chat. Sunny, who says, you might as well just start Leo FC at this point. You can use the money to sign Wirtz yourself. Oh my god. Leo, love from India. You'll never walk alone. Big up, bro. Ahmed says, hey Leo, how well do you think Wirtz will do next season? I don't want to give predictions for like goal contributions and stuff like that, but what I just love is the intent from the football club as well. I think a few of us were a bit devastated when Trent left the football club, because he came from the academy and he's probably our most creative player in the team. And for us to, like, the way we responded to losing Trent, I think shows that we're at the highest, like in terms of football operation. I think we're at the highest with the best. Already, we're one of the best clubs in the world. But what I love is the way we responded to Trent deciding to eventually go to Madrid. For me, that's us saying we mean business. And what I mean by that is the same day we Real Madrid officially announced Trent, we signed Frimpong, and given some of the creativity that we lose through Trent leaving, we've replaced that in a different part of the pitch in Florian Wirtz. And I just think, wow, the intent from the football club, bro, it has me way too excited. And the more successful the club will be, and how do you become more successful? By bringing in the best players like Florian Wirtz, the more money the club will generate, and the more we can continue to buy great players. You know what I mean? Because it's by winning the Champions League, it's by going far in the Champions League, it's by winning league titles that you're in a really good financial situation in terms of financial fair play and PSR and all the rest. So if we can, continue to win league titles, and like I said, hopefully the Champions League as well, and everything else, bro, the football club is just going in such a good direction that I'm just way too excited. It's just too much of a buzz that I feel there. Manu says, yo, Leo, how's it going? Buzzing for this. We offer 134 million bid for Wirtz. Come on. I'm confident Leverkusen will accept this offer, and Wirtz also wants to move. Come on, you Reds. Buzzing. Sounds like the bid was accepted because Fabrizio is saying the agreement is on the verge of being done. No, I think if it had been accepted, he would have said that here we go. I think. So I don't think Leverkusen have responded just yet. I don't think they've responded just yet. Big Up says, M in the chat. M in the chat. Are you going to be live streaming tomorrow for the Nations League final and the bonus final? I don't know yet, like I said, because the reason I don't know yet is the fact that I'm going to be on this farm. I don't know what time I get back yet. I need to check. Well, M in the building. Oh, yes, bro. In the building. Leo, if you had to support another Prem team, who would you choose? I wouldn't be so much into football if there was anyone else. If there wasn't Liverpool Football Club. I'm telling you, I don't come from and this is why probably Liverpool means so much to me too. I don't come from a family where anybody watches sport really or football. I'm the only one in my family. So it was like love at first sight when I was a kid, and when you're a kid, you have that innocence about you, but it was just a gut feeling that I was meant for Liverpool, and I just, the whole philosophy of the football club just felt right, and so I know that if I hadn't encountered Liverpool and what Liverpool means, I wouldn't have been into football. Genuinely, I think I would have done something else. I would have gone through a completely different path in life if I hadn't encountered Liverpool when I was 6 or 7 years old when I was living in Iceland. I'm sure of that because, like I said, there's no connections in my family to to football whatsoever. I was the first, and so there's no doubt that if it wasn't for Liverpool, it would just be nothing. It really would. My grammar is bad now. Don't worry, bro. The Real Johnny says, I'm kind of jealous of City getting Cherki, bro. I can't lie. I'm not. I mean, yes, he's a great talent, but there's a reason why. Like, nobody signed him in January. There's a reason why there weren't a bunch of football clubs fighting for his name. There's a reason why Anisla met him the week prior and we didn't go all in for Cherki. Like, again, there's no doubting that Ryan Cherki is a top talent. But the fact that, again, not every major big club pushed for him when he has such a low fee says something. You know what I mean? It does say something. And again, we weren't going to sign Florian Wirtz and Ryan Cherki. That just wouldn't make any sense. And he would have wanted to go to a team anyways where he can play, regular minutes. Sup, Leo? Charlie, I'm doing very well. I'm absolutely buzzing is what's happening here. I'm bored. How are you bored, bro? This is a big day for us. Or a big few days coming up. Seriously. I like what Slot is doing. Not only is he reviving the Coutinho role for a decade, but he's replacing Salah in the long run at different positions with Wirtz at the 10 while exploiting a proper right wing. And the beautiful thing too, by the way, guys, about Salah extending, obviously, is that it gives us time to eventually find the long-term replacement for him. It gives us at least another 2 years. So that's fantastic news. You know what I mean? Big up Vazudev. Thank you again for the super chat. It says Soboslai was so good yesterday. What a player. I heard that actually. I didn't get to watch the game, but people are saying we're not ready for Soboslai in the 8 role next season. That a lot of the time the role that he played this season, people are saying it's not his best position. And Slot even said in an interview that Soboslai would prefer to play a little bit deeper. That he didn't that his preferred position is in that kind of 8 role, and he did that against Brighton, and he played very well against Brighton. Remember, he scored in the first half. So Soboslai, I think we could see an even more elevated Soboslai next season. And he's Vazudev. What's for sure is he's way too good to be a bench player. So trust me, I don't know how, but Slot will find a way in the biggest games. He'll find a way to start Gravenberch, Maka, Soboslai, and Wirtz. Don't ask me how, because I'm not the manager getting paid, over 10 million. But trust me, Anisla will find a way to start those 4 because they're way too good to be benched. Big up Hussein, thank you again for the super chat, who just says, Do you think Liverpool win the treble next season? I don't know, bro. I just want us to... I'm less focused on the treble. I just want us to go very far in the Champions League, and I want us to win the Premier League again. Those are the 2 competitions I care most about. We in recent years we've won the domestic cups a whole lot. The FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, which was great. But now, given the strength of our team, and like I said, the fact that there's potentially just 2 years left of Virgil and Salah, I want us to really, I wouldn't mind being knocked out of the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup early. Genuinely, I wouldn't. I just want us to win the Champions League and the Premier League. Those are the two. Those are the 2 I want us to go all the way in, because they're everything. Wirtz as a false 9. I could see it, bro. I could see it. 100% I could see it. Oh, stop. I'm getting too excited for that. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. What about Mamardashvili? He's going to have to be a bench player until Alisson leaves. He's going to have to be, because Alisson is the best keeper in the world. But I do think he's going to leave pretty soon. Not pretty soon, but I think Alisson could leave in 2 years' time, for example. So Mamardashvili will know that his chance is coming soon. And the beautiful thing is he's still, just 24 years old, which is very young for a keeper. He's going to get to have Alisson as a mentor. So there's no better person to be learning from. You know what I mean? There really is no better person to be learning from. Shout out to you, Kaya. Remember, I met you at Anfield. Yes, I do remember. God, I miss Anfield. The energy that day, even if I didn't go to Anfield, was special. Yeah, Jalapeno. Like I said, the beautiful thing is, I'll bet you we're already doing our homework now to find our long-term replacement for Mohamed Salah. But the beautiful thing about him signing that extension is it gives us more time to do that research, to try to find the next bargain, potential world-class player at right wing. When we went for, I read where is it? I had it here. The book on the man behind the data at Liverpool during the early Klopp years, and he spoke about how when we went for Mohamed Salah from Roma, not many clubs were in for him. Not many clubs in the Premier League were in for him because of the fact that he didn't shine at Chelsea, even though he never really got his opportunity there. But no one was really willing to take the risk. And they said when you truly looked at the data and you saw the way he was performing, that he was a top player already, and that any doubts that people were having weren't truthful doubts, because of how much he had developed from the time he was at Chelsea to the time his last year at Roma, and clearly that's one of the greatest signings ever. What did he cost? I think 30 million pounds or 35 million pounds, Mohamed Salah. Bro, he could go down as the greatest Premier League player ever after these 2 years. And we signed him for under 40 million pounds. One of the greatest bargains ever. No doubt about it. Yo, Siberian Republic, nice to see you in the building. What's good? What match made you support Liverpool? Was it something else? It was this man that made me start supporting Liverpool. This man right here. And I was watching Stevie G. And like I said, I didn't come from a family that watched football. So I was a little kid. And I didn't even know the offside rule. I didn't even know anything about football. But what I saw, how you're, as a kid, there's certain weird things that you notice. For me, it was the emotion Stevie G showed in his celebrations. I didn't even necessarily understand the technique in the goal or anything like that. I just saw his pure emotion when he was celebrating, and I could see that whatever this was meant so much, and that's what made me so curious, and I just wanted to learn more. And yeah, so Stevie G really was my idol since I was a kid, and forever for me, there's no player will ever be more special than Stevie G, because I know I wouldn't have started supporting the football club, I don't think, unless I had initially been shown the like I said, just the pure emotion that Stevie G showed. Literally just the pure emotion, because I didn't understand technique or anything like that. And I gotta show you guys this too. One of the best days I've had since I started loving Liverpool was this. Look, guys. When I met Stevie G. This was a few years back. I think this was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I met Stevie G, and this was at the AXA training ground. So the current training ground where the players train. I think it was in 2022. But man, you don't know how nervous I was in this moment. When I saw him from a distance at the training ground, I couldn't move, you guys. I could not move because I was so nervous. And I was like, I can't go talk to him because I'm just going to be speechless. And then he was so nice. And it was just so chill. And we ended up talking for like 5-10 minutes. But that was most definitely the most special day because, like I said, he was the reason why. Leo, how come you never blink in a short? Daniel, I do. The thing is, I don't do the entire short in one take. I do cuts based on the sentences. So it's not like I'm filming straight. Because there's cuts, it looks like I never blink. But if you want to make sure that I'm not AI, because I'm tired of people saying AI, just look, I'm blinking. And I got big eyes, so yeah. You think I look that different then? Bro, it was only like 2 years ago. Slot, can you sign Openda? I haven't watched enough of him. I just know when I went to watch Leipzig, Liverpool this season, I was there in Germany. He didn't impress that much. He is fast though. Very fast. You see more human live. Yeah, bro, it's normal. Bro, it's normal. Because there's no... when you make videos, you can cut. You know what I mean? You can blink. Oh my god, you guys. Wait, Leo's AI? Yeah, that's what people say in the videos, bro. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, bro. Anyways. Do you love burgers? No. I don't love burgers. Because of how I feel after. It's the same thing with fries. I don't like fries because often I'm just sick after. Were you happy when France won the World Cup? So happy, bro. I was in a France fan zone too. And the celebrations were crazy. People back then said that I looked like Benjamin Pavard, who obviously played so well in that World Cup for France. And they were holding me like this and they were throwing me up like that. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. Leo, how close is the Wirtz deal? I think 99%. 99%. Because every part that could make a deal fall through, for me, isn't there. And the three key parts that makes me so confident that it's going to get done is one, Leverkusen want to sell him this summer, and the only club left in the mix is Liverpool because he rejected Bayern and City. Two, Liverpool, he's our top target, and clearly we have the money for it this summer. Otherwise, we wouldn't have made a 134 million euro bid. And then three, Wirtz only wants Liverpool. So on both club sides, they want to get a deal done, and on the player side, he desperately wants the deal done. So every part wants the deal done. You know what I mean? So, what do you think of my profile picture? Bro, I hope whoever, the Alvarez that's in your profile picture, and I'm sorry because you say you're an Atleti fan, I hope that he joins Liverpool, but I know it's unlikely since we're not going to spend 100 million plus on two players. There's no way. Iran says Wirtz is going to break shirts selling records. I could see it happening. I could because of the hype here. Any news on Konate's future? No real news. Although the other day there was something a bit positive saying that the negotiations are ongoing. So hopefully. Thank you, bro. Love your streams as always. Thank you, bro, for the support. We really need to go back in for Isaac and Alvarez. I don't see that happening, to be honest. I'm not so sure. Because are we really going to spend 100 million plus on two separate players? It seems unlikely, if we're being honest. It seems unlikely. Hamza says, I started to support Liverpool mainly because of Fernando Torres and then Stevie G, obviously. Costas wants to leave Liverpool. I think he eventually will, yeah. I think he's the one that's more likely. Robbo, I can actually tell you, he spoke, I think it was just 2 days ago. Robbo came out to speak about his future because he was asked about the Kirkez signing, and listen to what Andy Robertson says. For me, not only does it show he's a model professional, and I think it's so brilliant the way he put it, he was being honest and yet professional, but at the same time, for me, it says that Robbo will stay and fight for his position or be at least a leader and because of his attitude, you know? So, yeah, so this was in a press conference with him being on international duty with Scotland, and he was asked about Kirkez rumors, and he said, quote, "We're not daft. It looks like as if a deal could potentially be done, but until that's done, I've not given up. I haven't even given that a second thought. I back myself. I've got confidence in my own ability, and that drives me forward. I've had 8 fantastic years at Liverpool in terms of winning trophies and being a mainstay in the team, which I'm incredibly proud of. I'm not getting any younger. I can't change my age, but I still believe I've got a lot to give, and that's what I focus on. I focus on myself. You can't focus on other people or who you're competing with. For me, that's someone that welcomes competition, but he's also realistic, and he will probably know that from match week 1, if we sign Kirkez, he will be our starting left back. But again, with the amount of games that we play nowadays, with the new Champions League format and everything, he will still get minutes in different competitions, you know? But I do think Costas will leave, because I don't think there's no way we're keeping around 3 first-team left backs. Just no way. No way, Jose. Yeah, Daniel, apparently the Kirkez deal is nearly done as well. Questionable 11 LFC, thank you as well for the super chat. I appreciate you. Is it intentional that you don't blink in your shorts? No, it's not intentional. It's not intentional. Manti says, Sup Leo, shout out from South Africa. Bro, love your content. I think keeping a player like Robbo is worth its weight in gold. Robbo with a decent rest will come good, absolutely. And the leadership behind the scenes too, because he's a model professional. Like I said, I bet he's one of the best in training, shows up early, all of that. That's the kind of mentality you want to have around to keep the winning culture going. You know what I mean? He's won 2 Premier League titles. He's won the Champions League. He's won the whole lot, you know? Caden says, we are so good buzzing to get this deal done. Come on, you Reds. Leo, nice to see you. Are we really getting Wirtz because it's taking so long? Yes. It's just the final details that are left. Just the final details. Leo, where are you getting this information from? David Ornstein and Paul Joyce, who are the 2 most reliable journalists in England. What number do you think Flo will take? Thank you, Luca, for the support and the kind words. I appreciate you. Leo, I'm so happy after Jordan qualified for the World Cup. Yeah, Anas, I'm going to make a video on that. Not just Jordan, but Uzbekistan as well. So big up to those nations qualifying for their first ever World Cups. Beautiful story. But which number do I think Flo? I think initially Wirtz will take the number 27 is my prediction. A lot of you are mentioning number 17. I don't think that's going to happen because, like I said, that's Curtis Jones's number, and I don't think he wants to take anybody's number. He already said in the story that he wants to be respectful about the players that are already at the football club. And maybe down the line he can take up the number 10 if Maka takes up another number. Who knows? But for now, I think he's going to take a number that's not taken in the squad, you know? Lazy Iguana, yo, what's good? I love seeing you spam the champions emoji. King Brawl says, we're finally closing in on some deals. Previous summers, all we've got was Liverpool monitoring. Exactly. I'm too hyped, bro. What a time to be alive. What do you think about Armin Pesci, the new goalkeeper we signed? Yes, bro. Apparently, he's already signed his contract. So he's going to be joining for £1.5 million from Hungary. And it seems like he's going to be starting with our U21s. But the crucial thing is he's just 20 years old, one of the best talents, known as a wonder kid. He will be training day in, day out with Alisson and Mamardashvili. Bro, imagine you're 20 years old and you want to improve as a goalkeeper and you get to train with Alisson Becker and Mamardashvili. Bro, he's going to improve so much. So he's one to look out for in the future. My personal prediction is Alisson will probably leave in 2 years' time. And when he leaves, Mamardashvili will be our number 1. And I could see this keeper, Pesci, being our number 2. I think that's probably the plan. Right? Because he's just 20 years old, which is so young for a goalkeeper. Remember, goalkeepers can also play till a much older age usually, you know? Dean Hayes, thank you very much for the super chat. Who says, I appreciate you, Leo. I appreciate you too, brother. I appreciate you too. How long is the contract? From what I've seen, I think it's probably going to be a 5-year deal. So until 2030 is my guess. Johnny says, greetings from South Africa. Do you think we need a backup DM? And I think we need a backup center back. What do you think? Johnny, I think, shout out, by the way, to all the South African Scousers. I really want to visit South Africa because it seems like there's so many Reds. But I think the priority is more of a backup center back, I would say, and getting Ibu Konate to extend. That's number one for me, at least, after we get Kirkez and Wirtz done, to extend Ibu Konate. But my question around the backup DM, I want to know, does Arne Slot back? Does he trust Stefan Bajcetic? And I think we'll get our answer in preseason. So for me, one of the things I'm going to be most curious about and looking out for in preseason, we will be streaming the preseason games, is will he give Stefan Bajcetic game time, and will he trust him to be the backup DM? Because we saw Gravenberch was run to the ground this season. We need to rotate more in that position. And I think Bajcetic is a similar type of profile to a Gravenberch. He's very good on the ball. He's good in transition. He's press resistant. And I could see him being a great backup for Gravenberch. And he's young, so he has space to develop as well. So I'm hoping, Johnny, that Bajcetic gets his opportunity because I really think he has the talent. Last summer, Barcelona wanted to sign him, and it just shows how highly he's rated in world football. But I do think it's a case of if Slot decides in preseason that he doesn't rate him, then definitely I think he will leave. He will leave probably on a permanent, because there's no point in just keep on getting loaned out. You know what I mean? I think he'll make his decision this summer. But in terms of a backup DM, I don't know if we'll sign one, because even, for example, Wataru Endo says that he's happy to stay at the club and fight for his position. Are we really going to sign another DM on top of having Wataru Endo there? I'm not so sure. So if I had to guess, I don't think we're going to get a backup DM, because the only way I think we get a backup DM is if we sell both Bajcetic and Endo this summer, who can definitely fill in for Gravenberch, and I don't think we'll sell both of those. I think Slot will decide that at least one of those two is good enough to be a backup DM for Gravenberch. So, yeah, my prediction is after hopefully we get Kirkez and Wirtz done, our priority will be to extend Ibu Konate, to go for a striker with Darwin leaving, and get a backup center back. That's my prediction for what our next kind of priority will be. Yo, Goal Rush TV, nice to see you in the building. What's good? Fakri says, I'm really curious, where are you from, Leo? American? No, I'm half French, half Icelandic. But I lived 11 years in New York, so that's why the accent, I guess, when I speak in English. But I did do most of the schooling was in the US, but I'm not American, and right after I finished my studies, I came right back to Europe, back to France. Endo is underrated, and I think we should stick with him and Gravenberch. Yeah, bro. Like I said, it's not just Endo that we have as backup DM2. We could have Bajcetic as an option too. So that's why I don't think it's a priority position. Jaros, though, yeah, Leon, I'm not so sure what's going to happen with Jaros, because he only has 1 year left on his deal. And so I think I'm not sure what's going to happen. But I definitely think if we give him an extension, he probably will go out on loan, now that we've signed this Hungarian keeper. So I'm not exactly sure what will happen with him, Yo, chess professionals in the building, what's good? That's why Leo sounds like AI. Stop. Do I sound like AI? Don't say that, brother. I see you're sounding in love, though. I'm just kidding. I hope I don't sound like AI, though. That would be terrible. I think Chiesa needs way more minutes next season. What do you think? I think he's going to leave because of what you just said, because he needs way more minutes, and Slot isn't going to give him that. I don't see how he gets that many more minutes when he didn't get any this season, when he didn't even get to bring in his own signings yet. So, yeah, I don't see it. Eric says, will you come back to the States for the World Cup next year? I really want to, but it depends on getting tickets for games because they seem so expensive. So one of my dreams is to be able to go next summer, but we'll see if it's possible. I really, really want to, though. What do you think about Diomande? Yeah, the center back from Sporting Lisbon, and Hato rumors. I think either of those would be great options. Diomande, bro, I had him in Football Manager. He's incredible. I signed him in my save for Lille. He's incredible. Exactly. Go12 says Chiesa needs minutes if he wants to be in the squad for the World Cup, and he's not going to get regular minutes at Liverpool when we have Salah on the right hand side. He's going to start. I don't see him starting over Gakpo on the left wing, for example, and I don't think he's going to start down the middle. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think Chiesa's time is up. Kirmani says, I really hope Bajcetic impresses in preseason. He has potential to be one of the best DMs in the world. I completely agree. Are you going to watch Frimpong tonight? I don't think so, no, because I have plans for tonight. Gravenberg has a chance to join Real Madrid. What do you think? Nah, bro. He's got to stay at Liverpool. He has all of his Dutch buddies at Liverpool. Why would he want to leave Dutch FC? Leo, do you think we need a true 9? No, I don't think we need a true 9. I really don't. Look at what PSG achieved this season. Hamza says, I can never forget Klopp. He started the glory days. Respect to him. Absolutely. We'll never forget him. Don't you worry about that. Do you think he will take a number 14? It was Xabi Alonso's number, and it's with Chiesa now. That could be a potential, but I don't know why. I just get this feeling that Wirtz is going to wear the number 27. I mean, he used to wear that for Leverkusen, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Wirtz, 27, Leverkusen. I think before he got the... Let me check. Yeah, look. When Wirtz first signed for the club, look. I'll show you a picture, actually. Let me show you guys a picture. In new contract. Oh, no, this was from 2022. When he signed a new contract at the club till 2027. Let me show you. No, wait, hold on. So I guess he only changed his number recently. Because in 2022, so 3 years ago, he was still wearing the number 27. Guys, look, how do you think this suits him? Do you guys see that? That's Wirtz with the number 27. How do you think it suits him? Who's number 17? Curtis Jones. And I don't think he's going to want to take any player's current numbers, because he literally said in his story that he wants to be respectful. So 27, I think, is a possibility. Like I said, that's not taken, and that's what he had at Leverkusen when he signed that, when he first joined, and I guess also, yeah. Luis Garcia says, Wirtz is the face of German football. What a signing. Fantastic signing. You think 27 looks wrong? X says, I think Wirtz will stick to 27. He owns that number at the moment. He could take 9 after Darwin leaves. Bro, if he took 9, then that would be the biggest indicator that he's going to be our false 9. I don't think he'll take the 9 though, right? Which number would you pick if you had the chance? Honestly, I wouldn't be fussed about numbers. I remember when I used to play for a team, and it would be like the start of the season where you get to pick your numbers. Everybody was fighting for these crazy numbers. I don't know. I just don't think it's that important. I think just the way you perform on the pitch is all that matters. And I think that's probably Wirtz's mentality as well. But obviously he wants a number that he thinks will look good. But why not 27? If that's where he made a name for himself at Leverkusen, I think it could be beautiful that he starts off again with the number 27 to make a name for himself at the highest of elite levels with Liverpool, every season in the Champions League. And then maybe down the line, like I said, he takes the 10 and Maka takes another number. You never know. But I think I could see 27 for sure. I could see it. Yo, Jordan, nice to see you in the building. What's good? Jota might take 9. Nah, I don't think so. Is Darwin actually leaving? Like, is it confirmed? I definitely think we're trying to let him go this summer because he's not in the plans to be the starting number 9 for Slot. That's clear to see. So why would we just keep him around the club like that when we already have Jota? The only issue for me is I thought he was going to go to the Saudi club, but it looks like actually Osimhen deal is going to go through. He initially rejected the contract, but I think the Saudi club offered him even more money and now he's accepted it. So it looks like Osimhen will be going to Saudi, and I'm worried that that means they're not going to go for Darwin, because I thought that was his most likely destination, given we're going to be looking to recoup 70 million plus. So we'll have to see what ends up happening with Darwin, but I don't think we're going to try to keep him around, like I said, because if he's just going to be a squad player, you know, I could see Jota taking that kind of role, but not Darwin, because he's still, 24, 25. You know what I mean? So I don't see it. Could Wirtz wear the number 23, Robbie Fowler? He could for sure. He could for sure. Will we have the best midfield in Europe with Wirtz? Gakpo, I think because of what we saw this season, you'd have to say I don't see how anyone's going to be better than PSG's midfield in this moment in time, because that midfield is so complete together. But who knows? I mean, that midfield isn't going to be together for long, because Fabian Ruiz isn't that young, right? Oh no, he's not that old either. He's 29. But yeah, to say that the midfield is going to be better than Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, and João Neves, it's hard to say, because, like I said, they've just been absolutely incredible this season. So we'll have to see. But as of right now, it's hard to say that they're going to be better than that midfield three, you know, but definitely up there. I think the three best midfields in the world will be Barca, Liverpool, and PSG. A Krug says, yo, Leo, I'm bored, so I may make a short. Is Leo's goals AI? Stop, Illuminati. No, you can't be saying that. Leo, support from Norway. Can you name a player for an edit? Norway, John Anarise. Okay, that's the player I want you to do an edit about. Leo, did you see Liverpool's new release video of Frimpong doing his medical? No, I haven't seen that actually. Did it come out today? Could Wirtz wear the number 66? Definitely not. I don't think any other player will wear the number 66. I don't see that. Yeah, look, Al Hilal want to get the Osimhen deal done before the Club World Cup. And I thought if that deal had fallen through, I thought Darwin would have maybe moved there, but it doesn't seem like that's going to materialize in the end. So I don't know. I'm not so sure. Frimpong. Ooh, yeah, the video. I see in the video you have Frimpong with Hughes, Richard Hughes. The behind the scenes has come out. I'm going to be watching that after. Finding Darwin a buyer could be difficult. That's the only thing. Like I told you guys, I think the club definitely wants to offload Darwin this summer, but finding a club that's willing to pay the type of fee, I'm not so sure. How old is Wirtz? He turned 22 this month. Early in May. Oh, no, sorry, last month in May. So he only just turned 22. Very young. Still. Even though he has 67 goal contributions in his last 2 seasons for Leverkusen. We are here to hear the here we go soon. Avik, here we go soon is what I'm going to say, okay? You look like Andrew Garfield. When will our kits be confirmed? I think it's going to be 1st of August, Nasser, because our deal with Nike ends then and our deal with Adidas starts then. So I think it's not going to be released till pretty late in the summer because of that. In the beginning of preseason, we might still have to wear Nike. We might not be able to wear our new shirts, I think, because of that deal. Maybe Wirtz takes the number 8. I don't think he would take it from Szoboszlai. I don't see that happening, bro. I don't see him taking a number that's already occupied by someone. Unless someone were to offer it, but I don't see that happening. Kostas will be sold. I think so, yeah. I know we got a new right back, but Trent leaving still hurts. Not for me, bro. I'm just thinking about our future and the players we look like we're bringing in. Bro, it's going to be so exciting, this future ahead of us. Love from India. Keep up the hard work. Thanks for making us happy. Big up, bro. I appreciate your kind message. Absolute ledge. Wirtz, number 17. Bro, I was saying it before, Mbappe. I don't think that's going to happen because that's Curtis Jones' number. I really don't think he's going to take up a number that's already occupied. Our future is looking very strong for show. Any of our under 21s ready to take a big step up? It's hard to say. I don't think so. I mean, I think Rio Enma might get a game or two in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. Like we saw he played in the FA Cup this season. but I don't think like regular minutes or anything like that. I don't see that happening. Yo, Kona, love from Canada. I'm absolutely buzzing about this deal. Me too. Nebi to know says, first time here and welcome in the building. What's good? Who says, regarding Darwin, I don't think there is a way Liverpool gets their money back. Wasn't he about 75 million? Half maybe. No, he was less because apparently there's some installments that would be triggered if certain things happened, like amount of appearances or amount of goals that weren't triggered. So apparently the final fee is going to be something like 70 million. I thought we could have recouped that. I personally thought we could have recouped that if we had sold him to Saudi, but now it's looking unlikely with them getting Osimhen, unfortunately. So I agree. If it's not Saudi, I don't think a Spanish club will pay more than 50 million. Or I don't think an Italian club will pay more than 50 million. And I'm not so sure that we'd sell him for under 50 million because of where we value him and his potential and his raw ability. You know what I mean? Never mind Dutch FC, we're becoming Hungarian FC. I know, bro. Hungarian Scousers in the building. What's for sure is I feel like all of Hungary will become Reds. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, Harvey Elliott is 19, but there's a good chance Harvey leaves in the summer as well. There's a good chance. King Brawls, there's a lot of young, we were talking about Diomande from Sporting before. Scalvini is another one from Atalanta. There's also Hato from Ajax. But honestly, all I can think about is first and foremost, I want to get Ibu Konate extended. And then I think we should think about young center back who can grow with the team as well. You know what I mean? We got to take it one step at a time. Avik says Wirtz should take the number 27 as Origi was a club legend and one day Wirtz should be a legend. Touch wood. I'm going to touch wood. I have wood right here. Lewis, I was just saying, I think there's a chance of number 27 because that's one of the few numbers that I could imagine that's not taken in the team yet. That's what I think he's probably going to take. Whereas Frimpong, I'm not so sure what number. Probably number 30 because that's what he wore. If I had to put money on it, I would say Frimpong takes the number 30 because that's where he wears at Leverkusen. And like I said, Wirtz 27 initially, and then maybe he can take a different number down the line. Just like Bobby eventually took the 9, but that wasn't his original number, Lol. Lolly says, you're so funny and positive, Leo. We love you. Love you too. Thank you for the kind words. My guy ain't AI. Okay, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. What's your favorite number? Mine has always been 64. You're kidding, Sonny. Stop. My favorite number has been 64. I must have said that before and you're saying it to mess with me. Because that's my favorite number. That's the year my mom was born. Oh, Aman, I appreciate you. That is so kind of you. Big up. Thank you, the sweeper keeper. Shash says, I'm being greedy, I know, but Hato would be a beast in the defense, blistering speed and strong. Oh, I would love him too. And imagine, he would have Frimpong there, he would have Virgil there, he would have Gravenberg there, he would have Gakpo there. Like, he would have such a support system for him to grow and learn from. So it would just be incredible. I think it would be a great signing for us. Jalapeno, I think it's because in the shorts I often don't blink. That's where they think that's why I think they say that. No, Sonny, that's impossible. Be honest with me. Sonny, I said it before in a live stream and you just said it like that. There's no way we have that. The same. Guys, you know what's crazy, by the way? Everybody's saying, oh, Liverpool's spending so much money this summer, this and that. You realize us signing Wirtz, which is our record deal, obviously, Wirtz, Kerkez, and Frimpong is less money that we've spent on those three than City spent in January. Remember that spree that City went on in January? They spent more money than we spent on those three. So for people saying that we're like spending so much money, bro, nah. I didn't know at all. Wait, so Sonny, why is it your favorite number then? Why is it your favorite number? I'm gonna go like this for both the Wirtz and Kerkez deals to get done. Do you watch 442 Tunes? Yeah, bro, love it. Love it. Jeremy from Punk's back in the building. What's good? System, I see you in the building. I see you. Oh, System. Imagine. No, but we would have gone to Here We Go already if Kerkez had been to the training ground already. Seriously, with how info gets out these days. Favol says, hey man, big ups for your work. Do you think Cherki is a bigger threat than Wirtz? No. Bro, like I said, there's not to say that he's not a real talent, Ryan Cherki. We got to see that, right, the other night for France. But there's a reason why not many clubs were fighting with City to get him for that kind of fee. There would be a reason why. You know what I mean? Not everybody knows the reason why behind the scenes, but I don't think you can compare the levels of talent. I don't think you can. Or at least overall, because again, talent isn't just your pure ability on the pitch. The mental side of it is just as important as the actual raw talent. You know what I mean? It's 6:50 in India. Hopefully, I could sleep after hearing the Here We Go. I'm not so sure it's coming here. Hydrate for the Here We Go. I got you. I'm going to hydrate for the Here We Go to come ASAP. Watching behind the scenes. Big up King Brawls. I appreciate you. We got Omar from Egypt. Hato and a right winger would be a 10 out of 10 window. You don't think a striker? You think right winger? But we have Salah there. Are the red and white green kits confirmed? No, nothing's been confirmed from Adidas yet. Because like I said, I believe our deal starts on the 1st of August. So it won't be completely confirmed until then. Why did we not go in for Stiller? Because I think Stiller, there was a lot of interest in Stiller. So yeah, we'll have to see. Dean says, Leo, will you go live straight when we get to Here We Go? That's the plan. But like I said, tomorrow I'm going to be on a farm where there's probably not going to be great connection. So if it happens tomorrow morning or afternoon, I'm just going to be in the countryside. So it's not going to be possible. So obviously I don't know when the Here We Go's coming. But if it's possible, then yes. Dean, I promise. I promise. Have you watched the Frimpong signing day? No, but I will this afternoon then. Champion says, I love your content, Leo. I hope Wirtz and Kerkez sign soon. Imagine Hato as well and maybe even a new left winger like Gordon if Diaz leaves. I love your channel. You'll never walk alone. Bro, I'm too excited. I'm too excited as well. I can hear your buzz. I know, that's what's beautiful, Hamza. That's the Liverpool way. We support our players who are fully committed. The players that are fully committed, we support them all the way. Mudkips, thank you very much for the super chat, who says, I don't want Gakpo to leave. I just bought his signed shirt. I definitely don't think Gakpo will leave. For me, that's one of the ones that I can tell you, bro, very, very confidently that I don't think he leaves. Seriously, I don't think he leaves. So there's no need to stress on that end. I think there's a decent chance. There's definitely a better chance that that Luis Diaz leaves. Definitely. Leo, hydrate even more. 2 liters. I barely have any water left, but I'll finish it, okay? This is how much water I have left. Wirtz is far bigger than Cherki. In my opinion, no offense to Cherki. Yeah, I mean, like I said, even the price tags you can't compare whatsoever. You can't compare them. You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to, for the here we go to come ASAP, I'm finishing this water. Neil says, hi Leo, love the show. It's a statement from the club. Edwards has followed Wirtz for several years and he feels this is the right time to get him at our club. You'll never walk alone. Yeah, apparently, guys, in 2020, Edwards already wanted to bring Florian Wirtz to Liverpool, but it wasn't possible to get the deal done for whatever reason then. And the fact that we've been following him this whole time and that he's become one of the best players in the world shows again, behind the scenes, we're doing the right things. We're doing the right things. Chess Professional says, Leo, thoughts about Postecoglou being sacked? Was it good or a bad move by Spurs? Let's not forget he finished 17th and Ten Hag finished in a low place last season but won a trophy, and this year it went badly. Yeah, Chess Professional, I actually think the example of Ten Hag is probably what Daniel Levy was looking at, saying, look, it's a big risk if Postecoglou has a bad start with Spurs to the season and then they have to sack him, so all the summer signings are kind of a waste because those summer signings would have been for Postecoglou, you know? So I actually think it kind of is a good move from Spurs. It's a good move because it's so unacceptable to finish 17th, and yet he can finish on a high, right? Like everybody's just going to remember the best things now about Postecoglou because of the ending the trophy drought and winning that trophy. So he's going to be seen as a legend there, you know? The fans are saying build him a statue, but at the same time, the Spurs board, Levy, etc., they had to think about what's best for the future of Spurs, and Spurs were never consistent under Postecoglou. The win rate was so low, and I think if they can bring in someone like Thomas Frank, who I think is such an underrated manager, I think it's a smart decision. Because like you just mentioned, look, United decided to keep Ten Hag after he won them the FA Cup, and clearly that was bad because they made signings in the summer for him, and then they sacked him early in the season. So all those signings are to complete waste because now Ruben Amorim doesn't want those players, and you just have to lose tons of money in having to resell those players, sign new players, and it doesn't work that way, you know? So now they're going to bring in a new manager, and I think they're going to fully back that manager, you know? And if it's Thomas Frank, like I said, I think he's great. I think he's great, and he's an underrated manager, and I'm happy for him if he gets that type of opportunity. Obviously, it'll be a blow for Brentford. Imagine if they lose Mbuemo and Thomas Frank in the same summer. That would be so worrying for their fans, but he is one of the best managers, like underrated managers, at least in the Premier League, I think. Alina says, crazy bid, Leo. I know. 134 million euros. 113 million pounds. Crazy. Yo, you tutors, nice to see you back in the building. What's good? Leo, do you miss Wijnaldum? I loved Wijnaldum, but I think we let him go at the right time. Or maybe we could have kept him 1 or 2 more years, but hey, right now, I'm not thinking about other midfielders. The fact that we're going to have Gravenberch, Endo, Bajcetic, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Wirtz as options in the midfield, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Curtis Jones as well. Like, just so many options. You know what I mean? Neil says, Cherki is good, but also wanted to move to us. Difference between Cherki and Wirtz, one is good and one is future Ballon d'Or winner Wirtz. What a signing he'll be. Exciting times ahead. Oh, yes. Adi Vance says, Leo, if you could bring any player that isn't retired back to us. Oh, I like that question. Guys, I'm going to ask that for all of you. If you could bring any player back who isn't retired back to us, who would you bring? So who's a current player? I'd have to see who we've sold in recent years. Because, for example, I wouldn't say Sadio Mane because he's, as much as I love him, he's not at that level anymore. You know what I mean? He's just not. But let's see. I'm trying to see in recent years, who have we sold that would be good to get back? Is there one that comes to mind? I mean, one I'm thinking about right now is Emre Can. I feel like he would be a good squad player. He's a leader. But at the same time, I'm not so sure how he fits into the team. So I don't think Emre Can I would take back just because I don't think he gets many minutes. I guess Bobby Firmino? Trent? You guys are saying Trent. Nah, but now we have... Yeah, I mean, the correct answer is Trent. Let's be honest. Nah, come on. Sonny says Mane or Henderson? Bro, they would not get into our team. They wouldn't get regular minutes. Fabio Carvalho... Clearly, he wasn't rated by us. I don't know. Solanke is not a bad shout. You know, Dominic Solanke is one of my favorite shouts. Nah, Coutinho's not at that level. And Bobby Firmino, I love him. But guys, look at the age of Solanke. I think it would be smarter to bring Solanke than a Bobby Firmino. Because Bobby Firmino doesn't have the legs that he did in his prime. You know what I mean? And trust me, Bobby's my favorite player from the Klopp era. But I would rather have the best memories of Bobby than a Bobby that doesn't have the legs anymore. Trent, I think the two best answers from everything I've seen you guys put in the chat, because bro, Fabinho doesn't have the legs either. I said Emre Can, but I think the two best answers are Solanke or Trent. Solanke or Trent. I think those are the two best answers. Ali Nus says, Leo, I want to move to Iceland. First, I need to sell my apartment. Then I go there for 5 days at a hotel to check the place. If I can find work and rent. What do you think? Ali Nus, what kind of work are you thinking about? Because I could help you potentially. I could help you to see what kind of work, because I know there is a lot of demand for work in Iceland, but it depends what kind of work you'd be looking for. But definitely what's great about Iceland is the salaries are much higher. So a lot of people go there to work, save money up, and then move to another place after. That's what a lot of people do. So they go there, they work a lot, and are able to put good money aside. You know? But what kind of work are you thinking? Sonny, trust me, I love Sadio Mane. For me, he's one of the most underrated players and elite for many years at Liverpool. But I don't think he's at that level anymore. Quite at that level anymore, you know? But yeah, Trent, obviously. But yeah, I think the two correct answers, the two best. Sterling? Nah, bro. Are you actually saying Sterling? Have you watched Sterling for Arsenal this season? Nah, someone actually put Sterling in the chat. Nah, bro, come on, bro. I pray Bajcetic shines. He's a real gem. I agree. Absolute gem. I would love for him to get an opportunity at Liverpool. I think he's the type of player, if we let him go, we could really regret it. I think we could really regret it. Alina says, okay, bro, I've been in sales, agent, 15 years in PR. I try to find something similar, but I'll see. Yeah, I wonder what then. Well, Alinos, if you're seriously thinking about it, then send me an email. That's the place where I'll most be able to see it. Send me an email, okay? If you're seriously thinking about it, and I could see how it could help. I could see. You Tutors says, Leo, do you think the £113 million will be accepted? I think there or thereabouts. I think what could end up happening is Leverkusen, like I said, want to get it done before June 10th when the window closes again. I think there's maybe a chance where Leverkusen just try to pinch just a few more pounds, and Liverpool are just tired of the negotiations at that point. And let's say, for example, they say, let's do £115 million, and Liverpool's just like, okay, we'll give you an extra 2 million, but it's done. Something like that, you know? Because I think now it's just like the finest of little details, because that is a serious bid that we've put in. You know what I mean? Mr. Rashput, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Go12 says, I take Origi back. Big game player, scores versus Everton most of the time. Again, I don't think he's quite where... I don't think he's at the level that he was at before. You know, same with Luis Suarez. I loved him, but he doesn't have the legs the same way, if we're being honest. 1 out of 10, what would you rate the Van Dijk mural? 10. 10 out of 10. I love it. It was special seeing it when I was at Enfield a few weeks ago. It was special seeing it. It's only one street on Enfield Road away from the Trent and the Robbie Fowler ones. Leo, you guys should steal Sesko from Arsenal because Darwin is leaving. I don't know if Darwin... Bro, I thought Darwin would definitely leave if Saudi were going to be in for him. But I'm not even so sure that Saudi's going to be in for him. Because, like I said, they just decided to actually give more money to Osimhen. So it looks like he's going to Saudi. And then I don't know if they would sign another striker in Darwin. And that's what worries me a little bit. If not Saudi... Like I said before, I don't see a Spanish club or an Italian club spending 50 million plus on Darwin. I don't see it. Because there just isn't as much money in those countries. Nah, Soboslai can't be benched, bro. He's way too good. Trust me. He's way too good. Way too good for that. DeBargo says, man, I'm really anxious. You think we're close with both Wirtz and Kirkes? Both deals are stalling. Yeah, I think it's... I'm not stressed one bit. Seriously, I'm not stressed one bit. I'm Rudra. Yes, Rudra. What's good? I will take Chiesa back, bro. He's off, I think. Maka left out of the Argentinian squad. Yeah, you tutors, because I think he had a bit of a minor injury. He wasn't happy about not being included because you know his elite mentality. He'll play through anything, but I think it's good that he just gets more rest. Bro, he played so many games for us this season. I want him to get the longest rest possible. That's the best thing, so he can come back next season and be even better than he was this season, which is going to be hard, but I back him to do it. Because he's incredible. Yo, Pratik, I'm doing well. How are you? Is Man United signing Gyökeres? I mean, if Arsenal signs Sesko, I could see United signing Gyökeres. I could see it. Absolutely. Sonny, big up. Thank you for the super chat. Who says Trent Alexander-Arnold will feel homesick and he's going to come back to Liverpool and sign for Everton. Imagine the scenes. So he can play in the Dick Stadium. Imagine. He could play in the Dick Stadium with James Tarkowski. Oh my goodness. Sobo could play a false 9 or wide playmaker or left wing to replace Lucho. He could play a whole lot of positions. But what's for sure, something I can guarantee you, which some people seem to be saying otherwise, but I guarantee you, he's way too good to be a bench player. He will still be a starter. We'll find a way. Yeah, it's a new stadium. The Dick Stadium. Hill Dickinson? Hill Dickinson? Bro, I'm hyped. Because Goodison seemed like one of the most difficult grounds to go to. I'm so hyped that now they're playing in the Dick Stadium. Because it's going to be a lot easier, I think, hopefully, to get wins instead of Goodison. Like, to me, it sounds so much less, like, daunting and less difficult to go to a place like that than Goodison was, at least from what I had heard. That's one of my big regrets, that I never got to see a derby at Goodison. Because like I said, I heard it's always like, I mean, over the years we've struggled there, even in our best moments and Everton in their worst moments. But like I said, I think with the Dicks, it's going to be different, hopefully. It will be. Sobo needs the end product. I don't know, bro. Neil, if he plays a bit deeper, he won't have to do that. It's called the Hill Dickinson, but I thought people were calling it the Dick Stadium, no? Hill Dickinson. Same thing, I guess, right? Leo, do Leeds stay up? Potentially. We'll have to see. It depends who you sign this summer. I actually did speak to a Leeds fan, my boy Calum, and this is what he had said, because I asked him, do you think Leeds will stay up? And he says that he's looking at Wolves, who are getting rated, and they could potentially be a team now that goes down. Do you guys think Wolves could go down next season? I think there's a chance of it. If Wolves go down, then maybe Leeds could be the team that is able to stay up. You know what I mean? Nah, bro, I'm not being naughty. It's just like I see people on Twitter calling it the Dick Stadium. So I'm just saying, like, for teams that go there, it's not a very scary thing. You know what I mean? It's like, do you guys know that in the US, the Dick's Sporting Goods, do you guys know that shop? I thought that it was I thought that Everton were named after that, but apparently it's some like insurance thing, isn't it? Hickinson? Let me show you guys I initially when the Everton stadium got named that, I thought it was Dick's like from the US. Let me show you. Like this one. Have you guys ever heard of this one? Hold on. Look, Dick's Sporting Goods. I thought that's what their sponsor was, but it's actually not. It's actually not. It's some insurance thing, right? Nabi says, what do you think Darwin's staying? I know he didn't succeed, but I have to be honest, and it's weird. He was my favorite player other than Trent since he came to us, specifically with this striker market. Dabby, I think it all depends on what kind of money we can get for him this summer. I don't think we'll sell him for less than 50 million because we see his potential and how he could shine in another club. And I think if no major money comes in for him, I'm not so sure we actually end up selling him. I mean, let's see. I do think our goal is to sell him, but I don't see us selling him for so much lower than what we paid him for. You know what I mean? Any updates on Pogba? No, I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure. Hill Dickinson. Let me check what it is. Hold on. Let me check. Hill Dickinson's. It's a British international law firm, commercial law firm, headquartered in Liverpool with more than 200 partners and 950 staff. The firm operates from 6 UK offices and 4 overseas offices. And wow, this firm was founded in 1810 in Liverpool. Wow. 950 employees. But imagine, it was founded over 200 years ago. That's crazy. That's kind of crazy. By the way, there's rumors that Curtis Jones could start at right back for England tonight. Yo, Liverpool X edits. Nice to see you in the building. American name, Dick, man. It is an American name too. Who's one of the most famous actors of all time? Who is Dick? Let me see. Hollywood actor. What was his name? No, maybe I'm getting it wrong actually. Never mind, there isn't someone that famous with the name in Hollywood. I thought there was. I hope so, iconic. That's what you like to hear. I hope so, bro. Freaking hope so. Oh yeah, you said Milos Kerkez apparently left the camp for personal reasons. We all know what those personal reasons could be. Look. Wait. What do you guys think that personal reason could be? It's only been a few days without football, and I just want Liverpool back already. I know, right? Jordan's saying, I'm just waiting for the here we go for Wirtz. Me too, bro. But I don't think it's going to be this weekend. I have a feeling that it's probably going to be Monday, Tuesday. I think it's going to be Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday. I don't think it's going to be tomorrow, but I have no clue. I'm just saying that like that. Don't take my word for it. Amir, the problem, everybody's been saying it. Apparently, the main problem with Nico Williams is he has really high wage demands, and that makes the deal difficult for any team going for him because it kind of breaks the wage structure, you know. But let's see. We'll keep an eye out on that. Let's see. Stroll on preseason to see our new signings in action. Yeah, bro, I'm so hyped. Oh, the time has come. It's my birthday, June 14th, and I want Frimpong Kirkes done and dusted by then, bro. I think we will. When will the new jersey be announced? I think on August 1st. That's when our deal with Adidas starts. So, like I was saying before, it seems like I think our first preseason game is against Preston. I think then we'll still be wearing our Nike shirts. Seriously. Let's hope we don't lose to Preston North End in our preseason like last year. Yeah, Jalapeno, that's going to be our first game. I think in that one, like I said, we'll still be wearing our Nike shirts because of how the deal is with Adidas. I'm going to Preston for the preseason game. My first ever Liverpool X edits. That's sick. When is it again? Romanian ex-players will be the next Inter Milan manager? Shivu. Is he Romanian? I didn't realize, bro. I did not realize. But wait, let me check what the date was for the Preston North End game. It got announced recently. Let's see, what date is it on? Preseason 13th of July. So it's in about a month's time. In about 1 month's time. 13th of July. Yeah, exactly, bro. You got it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. All right, you guys. I think it's gonna be it for this live stream. Hopefully. I mean, I have a feeling there's gonna be much more to come in the next few days, you guys. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for more spontaneous lives to come. I appreciate all of you guys for the support, being in the building, and yeah, guys. special time to be a Red right now. I think both of the Wirtz and Kirkes deals will move very quick. So, like I said, I'm sure we'll see each other back in the building very, very soon. And yeah, cherish these moments, you guys. Cherish these moments and this time that we're about to live. But yeah, guys, all of you, I appreciate you very much. Be nice to have a here we go while live, Leo. I know that's what I thought maybe could have happened here, but it didn't end up happening. But guys, I really appreciate you. Take care, and I will see you guys, like I said, I know very, very soon. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the weekend, you guys, and